Chicago is on fire today. A wideout with more than 13,000 yards in the NFL might be rocking navy and orange. A linebacker fresh off the best season of a career just signed with the Bears. And a Super Bowl winning safety just came in to fortify the secondary all in one day. All in this video. If you are Bears to the bone, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and stay locked in till the end. Because this is historic. Bear down. News 1, Mike Evans. There are moments in a franchise's history that define it forever. Moments when one decision, one signing, one move can change the course of an entire generation of fans. And saying this with every bit of conviction in the body, what is happening in Chicago today with Mike Evans might be exactly one of those moments. Listen up. This morning, insider Jordan Schultz reported something that shook the whole NFL. Mike Evans, the legendary wide receiver from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is ready to test free agency. 12 seasons, 12 years of dominance, more than 13,000 receiving yards, 108 touchdowns. And right now, according to prediction platform Polymarket, the Chicago Bears are the favorites to land that player. According to that market, the Bears sit at roughly a 29% chance, the highest percentage among all interested teams. The San Francisco 49ers are behind at 15%. The Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles, and Baltimore Ravens are all hovering around 13%. Here's the question. Do you know what it means that Chicago is the favorite to sign Mike Evans? It means this team is done playing around. Not with words, but with dollars and with intent. Because remember, the Bears shipped DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills at the start of this offseason in a trade that completely reshaped the team's offensive outlook. Moore was Chicago's number one receiver, Caleb Williams' go-to, and suddenly that player is gone. That created worry, it created uncertainty, it created doubt among Da Bears fans. The question came up right away, how is this Bears offense supposed to function without a true number one receiver? Who is Caleb Williams going to lean on when it really matters? And now this news drops, and here's the take. If the Bears manage to close the deal with Mike Evans, that move not only fixes the problem created by Moore's departure, it actually boosts Chicago's offense into a completely different dimension. This is a receiver who, at 32 years old, is still one of the best red zone threats in the league, still a legit vertical weapon, and still dominating in contested catches. Nobody in the league does that part better. Nobody. And let's talk numbers because numbers do not lie. 866 career catches, 13,052 yards, 108 touchdowns. And the most impressive part, something only Jerry Rice had ever done before in NFL history, 11 straight seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards, 11 in a row, with different quarterbacks and a bunch of those seasons facing defenses that game planned the entire week just to slow that player down, carrying the pressure of being the number one option in that offense. Mike Evans still hit 1,000 yards 11 seasons in a row. Only Rice had done that. Only Rice. Do you realize what that means? That is absolute consistency, durability, a truly elite mindset. Those are exactly the traits Caleb Williams needs lined up beside while growing into a true top-tier quarterback in the NFL. Caleb has the talent. Nobody can deny that. That player went number one overall in the 2024 draft for a reason. But a young quarterback needs reliable weapons, needs a receiver that, when things get tight, when the opposing defense is heating up, can be trusted to be in the right spot at the right time. Mike Evans is exactly that type of player. Now, not everything about this story is sunshine, and it is only fair to keep it 100. Evans is 32 years old, not 26, not 28, and in the NFL, 32 for an outside receiver is a fact that cannot be ignored. According to Greg Allman from Fox Sports, multiple teams have already thrown offers in the neighborhood of $27 million per year, $27 million for a 32-year-old receiver. That is a serious commitment, and Chicago absolutely has to evaluate whether that investment makes sense in the short and midterm. But here's the flip side. The Bears have the cap space to pull it off. The DJ Moore trade with Buffalo gave this team financial flexibility and extra draft picks. And if there is one receiver on this free agent market who justifies that kind of money, even at 32, That receiver is Mike Evans, because we are not talking about someone washed up. We're talking about a player still producing at a Pro Bowl level, still a monster in the red zone, and coming in with repeated playoff experience. Reports say Evans is weighing a few key things before making the call. Wants to play with a quarterback that can be trusted, wants to truly compete for a Super Bowl, and wants to be the top target in the offense. So here is the direct question. Does Chicago not check every one of those boxes? Caleb Williams is one of the most talented quarterbacks of that generation. The Bears roster is being built to win now and over the next few years. And with DJ Moore out of the picture, Evans would clearly be the number one wideout in that attack. If that is not an attractive package, what is? And look, this news is still burning hot. It broke this very Monday morning, March 9th, 2026. Negotiations are just getting started. Free agency is basically cracking its doors open right now. That means the next few hours could bring final answers. Evans could sign with Chicago before the day is over, or another team might throw out an offer the Bears simply cannot match. The uncertainty is real, the urgency is real, and that is exactly why you need to stay glued to this channel. The monsters of the Midway need weapons. Caleb Williams needs playmakers, and Ryan Poles is moving pieces with a level of determination that has not been seen around Hollis Hall in a long time, since the dark Trubisky days ended, since the Nagy era got sent packing. Since this front office took over, the vibe has been different, and today, with a real shot for Mike Evans to put on navy and orange, that feeling just hit a whole new level. Bear down, Chicago. This is what we have been waiting for. But if that already blew your mind, wait for what is coming next, because the Bears are not done. And this next move is confirmed, official, done. No predictions, no betting markets, pen on paper. Chicago's next move is on the defensive side, and it is massive. News 2, Devin Bush. Now let's talk about something that is already reality. While the football world was busy debating the possibility of Mike Evans in Chicago this morning, the Bears quietly went to work in the market and locked down another deal that has huge implications for this team's defensive identity, according to Adam Schefter, one of the most respected insiders in the entire NFL. The Chicago Bears have agreed to terms with linebacker Devin Bush on a 3-year, $30 million contract with $21 million guaranteed, $30 million, $21 guaranteed. For a linebacker coming off the best season of that career, does that sound like a coincidence? Not at all. Ryan Poles watched Devin Bush in Cleveland throughout the 2025 season and made a very clear decision. That player belongs in Chicago, and Bush's numbers in 2025 were flat out nasty. 125 tackles in 17 starts, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, 8 passes defended, 2 defensive touchdowns, and if you want to talk about the most iconic moment, look at Week 18 against that rival when Devin Bush jumped a throw and took it 97 yards to the house. 97 yards in Week 18 of the regular season. That single game earned Defensive Player of the Week honors in the AFC. That is not some ordinary player. That is a linebacker at the top of that game. To really understand how big this signing is, you have to understand Devin Bush's story. This is a story of redemption, of perseverance, of a player who refused to fold when things got dark. Bush was the 10th overall pick in the 2019 draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. 10th overall, you do not go top 10 unless your talent is off the charts. In that rookie year, Bush posted 109 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a defensive touchdown, earning PFWA All-Rookie honors. Everyone around the NFL said the same thing. That player is going to be a star. And then the injury hit. In 2020, Bush tore an ACL, got knocked off the field, and was forced into a physical and mental rebuild that very few athletes ever truly overcome. Those injuries do not just tear up a knee, they tear at your confidence, they make you question everything. Bush had to grind, had to reinvent that game. There was a stop in Seattle, then Cleveland, and at every stop that player picked up pieces until in 2025 with the Browns, it all came together. That was the season Devin Bush always knew could be played. Think about what it means to come back from a torn ACL and climb to the top of the position. That demands something far beyond raw athletic talent. That takes real character. And Chicago, which is building an aggressive, fast defensive identity, needs that exact type of mentality in the middle of that linebacking core. Now look at the broader context of this signing and what the Bears are building. Chicago's defense has been going through a serious transition. Losing a player like Roquan Smith a few years back left a mark that still sticks in the memory of this fan base. Roquan was the motor for a long time, the mind in the middle of the field. Finding a replacement that can bring that kind of impact, that ability to diagnose an offense, get to the ball, and create turnovers is not easy. But Devin Bush, with that athletic profile and what was put on tape in 2025, can get close to that standard. Not saying Bush will be Roquan, because Roquan is Roquan, and that is not something you just replace. But Bush can be the beginning of something new, something different, something that belongs to this generation of Bears. 125 tackles does not just happen by accident. 3 interceptions from a linebacker is not normal. That is a player who understands the game, who anticipates, who puts that body in the right spot, and has the hands to cash in when the chance shows up. Now stack this up against what division rivals are doing. The Green Bay Packers are still pouring into the offensive line, and that young quarterback. The Minnesota Vikings are deep in their own rebuild. The Detroit Lions, the big revelation in the NFC North the last few years, are still dangerous. But ask this, is any team in the division being as aggressive as Chicago on day one of free agency? Does not look like it. While everybody else is still evaluating, the Bears are signing. They are building. They are sending a message. And that message could not be clearer. The monsters of the Midway are back. $21 million guaranteed for Devin Bush is an investment that says this organization not only believes in what that linebacker did in 2025, but also believes in what can be done in the next 3 years. That is trust. That is vision. And if Bush keeps up the level shown in Cleveland, it will not take long to become one of the most important pieces in this Bears defensive system. This city, South Side, North Side, all of Chicago under the same colors, deserves a defense that demands respect. A defense where every opponent, when putting together a game plan, has to think twice before attacking the middle of the field. Devin Bush in the heart of that defense is a massive step in the right direction. And just when it felt like the Bears might be done, there is one more defensive move that cannot be ignored. Because Chicago did not just shore up the second level, the front office also went into the secondary market and brought in someone who knows the taste of victory better than almost anyone. Someone who just finished hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and is already ready to bring that championship mindset to Chi-Town. News 3, Kobe Bryant, Monday, March 9th, 2026, day 1 of the NFL's legal tampering period. And Chicago already has 3 huge moves locked in before the day is even over. The third one is in the secondary, and this signing says a lot about how the Bears are thinking about building this roster. Safety Kobe Bryant, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks and fresh off a Super Bowl win last season, has agreed to a 3-year, $40 million deal with the Chicago Bears. $40 million, $13,300,000 per year on average. That puts that player among the higher paid safeties in this free agent window. And if that number sounds steep for someone a lot of casual fans might not know well yet, it is worth taking a closer look at Kobe Bryant, because this safety is worth every penny. Start with the background. Bryant made a name at the University of Cincinnati, lining up with big-time players, including Sauce Gardner. In 2021, that defensive back won the Jim Thorpe Award, the honor given to the best defensive back in all of college football in the United States. That is not some throwaway trophy. That is an award that generations of Cincinnati fans talk about with pride. With that resume, Bryant was drafted by Seattle in the 4th round in 2022. Why the 4th round with that college production? That is the question. Sometimes the draft system just does not properly recognize certain players right away. But what happened next proved a lot of teams wrong. Bryant started that NFL journey in Seattle mainly as a nickelback, a role that already demands serious football IQ and physical versatility. In 2023, a foot injury limited that player to just 9 games, stalling the development right as the breakout was about to hit. The comeback in 2024, though, was the start of the key transformation. From week 7 on, Bryant took over as a starting safety and never gave that spot back. That season produced 3 interceptions, including a 69-yard pick six, 69 yards after the interception. That is speed, vision, and instinct on full display. It grabbed the attention of the Seattle coaching staff in a way that left no doubt. Then came 2025 when Bryant put everything together. 15 starts in the regular season, 4 interceptions, 7 passes defended, and 4 tackles for loss. 4 tackles for loss from the safety spot tells you this player is not just patrolling the deep part of the field, but also blowing up plays in the run game. That is what the NFL calls a complete safety, someone who can do a little bit of everything in one defensive scheme. Now, here's what stands out most about the Kobe Bryant signing. It is not just about what happens between the lines. It is about what is carried in that head. This is a player who just won a Super Bowl, just sat in a championship locker room, just felt what it is like to lift the Lombardi Trophy. That experience, that muscle memory of collective success is priceless. And now Kobe Bryant comes to Chicago at 26 years old, right in that prime window with some of the best football still ahead. So why did Seattle not keep that safety? The Seahawks pushed for an extension last summer, but the money gap was just too big. Bryant's play had leveled up, the market value jumped, and Seattle's offer simply did not match that growth. The player decided to test free agency, and Chicago stepped in with an offer that made sense. $40 million over 3 years. That is the price of bringing a champion into your secondary, and this Bears secondary needed that injection. Reports over the last few seasons have pointed to inconsistency on the back end, especially against more sophisticated passing attacks. Bryant, with the ability to cover, to anticipate routes, and to attack the football, might be the exact missing piece that elevates this group from good to flat-out excellent. There is also a detail in Kobe Bryant's story that not many people know, and that is genuinely fascinating. The name Kobe Bryant sounds familiar, right? That family chose the name in honor of Kobe Bryant, the 5-time NBA champion and one of the greatest basketball players ever. That name is not just a tribute, it is a statement. That family wanted a child to carry the name of someone who embodied determination, discipline, and a refusal to quit. And Kobe Bryant, safety for the Chicago Bears, is living up to that legacy. And if you want proof of that, look at the 2025 playoffs. Bryant suffered a knee injury in weeks 17 and 18 that kept that safety out of those games. A lot of players could have used that as an excuse to disappear in the postseason. Not Bryant. There was a recovery during the first round bye, and the safety came back in time to contribute exactly when the team needed it most. That is the mentality Kobe Bryant is bringing to Chicago. That is the mentality the Bears need on the back end. Now compare this to what division rivals are rolling out. Detroit has built one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFC North. Jared Goff, those receivers, that offensive line are no joke. To slow down an attack like that, you need safeties who can run with fast tight ends and slot receivers and still roll down into the box and help against the run. Kobe Bryant checks those boxes with Devin Bush patrolling the middle and Bryant controlling the back. This Chicago defense is starting to take a shape that would have been hard to picture just a few months ago. Ryan Poles is sending a very clear message to the entire league. This is not the same Chicago team that suffered through the Trubisky years, that fired Matt Nagy, that watched Roquan Smith walk out the door. This Chicago Bears squad is different. This is a team being built with vision, with smart investments, and with the determination of a general manager who actually understands what this city needs. Soldier Field deserves a winner. This city full of hard workers, people who know what cold is, what struggle is, what it means to keep going when everything feels stacked against you, deserves a team that represents that same energy. And on day 1 of 2026 free agency, with Mike Evans as a possible offensive addition, Devin Bush locked into the middle of the defense, and Super Bowl champion Kobe Bryant arriving in the secondary, the Chicago Bears are doing exactly that. Bear down. Look at what just went down in a single day, Bears fans. One single day, Chicago signed Devin Bush to lock down the middle of the defense on a $30 million deal with $21 million guaranteed. Signed Kobe Bryant, a Super Bowl champion, to boost the secondary on a 3-year, $40 million contract, and is leading the odds to land Mike Evans, the receiver, whose streak of 1,000-yard seasons has been topped only by Jerry Rice. All of that on day one of free agency, one single day. And this channel needs all of you, the Bears family, fully involved in what is happening because your takes matter, and this community is built on every one of your voices. A direct question on Mike Evans. Should the Bears drop $27 million per year on a 32-year-old receiver to put Caleb Williams in position to win right now? Or would you rather see the money go into younger players with longer-term upside? There's no easy answer there, and the comments are open for that debate. Head down there and let it be known Mike Evans yes or Mike Evans no in Chicago. And about Devin Bush, the deal that is already official. Can Bush keep up the 2025 level in a Bears uniform, or was that just a one-off career year? The belief here is that someone who battled back from a torn ACL and then delivered the best season of a career has something special that does not just vanish after 1 year. But your opinion matters. Drop that take in the comments. And on Kobe Bryant, how many safeties with a fresh Super Bowl ring have the modern Bears signed? Very few. This is a player bringing something that cannot simply be coached or bought off the shelf. First-hand knowledge of what it feels like to win the biggest championship in the most popular sport in the country. Do you think that experience will move the needle in the locker room and on the field for the Bears in 2026? Let it be known down below. Now really lock in on this because this is the most important part of the whole video. This channel exists because of you. Every story that gets covered, every breakdown, every debate, that all happens because we are a family. We are the Spanish-speaking Bears family, living every snap, every signing, every draft pick with the same intensity as if we were right there in Soldier Field with the icy Chicago wind blasting us in the face. If you still have not subscribed to this channel, do it right now. Right now. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because news moves fast around here and there's a lot more coming. Free agency is just getting started, and there is a guarantee that the coming days are going to bring more moves, more surprises, more moments that will define who the 2026 Chicago Bears are going to be. And if you are already subscribed, there is just one favor to ask. Share this video with another Bears fan, with a sibling, with a buddy, with that cousin who lives and breathes navy and orange like the rest of us. Let's grow this family, because the bigger we get, the stronger our voice becomes as a Bears community. Hit like on this video if you believe Ryan Poles is absolutely crushing this offseason, and if you have doubts. If you think one of these signings is a mistake, the comments are open for you too. Everybody has a voice here. This is Miguel Morales, Bear Truth Forever, and saying this straight from the heart. Chicago's waking up. The monsters of the Midway are coming back, and we're going to be right here to walk you through every step of the way. Bear down, Chicago. Until next time.